It's the debate as old as time. Volume betting versus picking your spots. Hey guys, welcome back to Sports Betting Truth, and today we're going to talk about the ultimate debate in sports betting, and that is volume betting versus picking your spots. The shotgun approach versus the sniper approach, whatever you want to call it. It's a debate that's been raging forever, but before I begin this video, I just want to point out that this video is brought to you by our friends at BetMGM and BetRivers. If you live in Virginia, Colorado, Iowa, Indiana, or Tennessee, BetMGM is your friend. Sign up with the link below in the description. Get up to a $600 first risk-free bet if you sign up with the link below. And if you live in Illinois or Pennsylvania, then BetRivers is your way to go. Look in the description below for a link for BetRivers. You can get up to $250 instant deposit match if you sign up with the link below in the description. Now, also I want to point out, if you like this video, then go ahead and hit the like button. People ask me all the time, how can I support your channel? Well, apart from signing up for BetMGM or BetRivers, you can like this channel. It will push this video to the top of the algorithm and push down all the tout videos and garbage sports betting videos out there that give terrible advice or just exist for self-promotion and touting. If you want to see actual sports betting advice like the ones I give out, then like this video. Now, when it comes to the volume betting versus picking your spots betting debate, it's a pretty easy answer. And that is, if you have a model that you have shown that has an edge and you've back tested and everything, and you know that the model gives you an edge, then there's no problem with volume betting. I have people all the time. They come into my chat on streams. They comment on my videos. They comment on my blog, on my website. They say I make too many plays. And that's because they are led to believe that volume betting is automatically bad and that the only way you have a chance is to pick your spots. And that's only partially true. Volume betting is actually the way to go if you have a good model, if you have a model that has shown a definitive edge. If you have a definitive edge, then you bet whenever your model says you have a definitive edge, whether that be only one play that your model says you have an edge in or 50. It doesn't really matter. If your model is tried and true and trusted, and you trust it, and it says there are 50 plays that day that give you an edge, then you might as well play all 50 of them because your model says so, right? If there's only one play that your model says you have an edge on that day, then bet that one. It doesn't really matter. But that's why I personally am a volume bettor, because I have models out there that have shown to have an edge over time, and therefore I trust them, and therefore I bet whenever it says my model says I have an edge. It's that simple. However, if you do not have a model, or if you don't have a way to mathematically quantify the fact that you have an edge, then you better not be volume betting, because if you're making a bunch of bets without a definitive quantified edge, then it's automatically assumed that you're making minus EV bets. And the more minus EV bets you make, the further and further in a hole you're going to dig yourself in. Now, that's why if you don't have a model, then volume betting is a very bad idea. And that's where most of these people are coming from when they comment on my stuff saying I'm making too many bets, because they're assuming I'm betting without a model, which is false. I have models that say if this is the criteria, then you have an edge. So therefore, that's why I'm doing it. But if you don't have one, there's no way to quantify the fact that you have an edge, and therefore you better be picking your spots. Personally, I would never bet without a model. I have not done that in years, but not everyone has the time of day to build a model, so I understand. So if you're going to be betting without a model, you better be picking your spots. And even then, like how do you know if it's a good spot? Without a model, how do you know if you're picking a good spot? How do you know if you're being a sniper and sniping that mispriced line? Everyone says, volume betting's so bad. That's why you need to be like a sniper and only bet like one game per week. Well, how do you know, if you don't have a model, how do you know that one game per week that is off? Like, how can you quantify that it's off? Like, are you like a psychic or something that like, how can you determine that without math? I ask this all the time. I remember I was arguing with a guy on my live stream one time who just said, you just know, like you can just tell that the line is off. But how? Like how? Like what metrics are you using to determine, hey, that line is mispriced or that line is off? He didn't answer, and we just kept going around in circles. But the point I'm trying to make here is that without a model, then any bet you're going to make is likely going to be minus EV. Now, I'm not saying you can't stumble into the right side of bets without a model. I mean, if you flip a coin, usually for the most part, most games have a right side and a wrong side. Even if you flip a coin, you're going to be on the right side just as much as you are on the wrong side, but over time, you're not going to be on the right side 52.4% of the time, and that's going to be your downfall. And without any kind of model, there's no way to quantify whether or not you have an edge 52.4% or higher, and therefore you're going to most likely be digging yourself a hole of minus EV bets, and therefore you need to pick your spots and be very careful, very disciplined. But even then, like I said, how do you know? So really the benefit of being a sniper-based approach without a model is not so much that you're making good plays, it's more the fact that you're limiting the number of plays you're making, because when you limit yourself to the number of plays you're making without a model, all you're doing is just limiting the number of bad bets you're making, because in my opinion, any bet you make without a model is a bad bet. So if you're only making one bet per week without a model, that means you're just making one bad bet per week, as opposed to, say, making 50 bets a week without a model. That's 50 bad bets, and you get the idea. It just adds up over time. So all you're doing is really just limiting the rate of the hole you're digging yourself when you're using a sniper-based approach without a model, not so much limiting yourself to only making good plays. So I hope you get the idea. So to wrap this video up, that's the idea. If you have a good model that you trust and is tried and true, then volume betting is not a bad idea if your model has given you a defined, quantifiable edge. Otherwise, pick your spots. Not so much pick your spots to make good bets, but pick your spots to limit the number of bad bets you're making. Anyway, that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, there's a bunch of bad sports betting YouTube videos out there, a bunch of crap, a bunch of garbage. So if you like this video, you'll get my videos pushed to the top instead of the self-promotion, tout, and other garbage sports betting videos out there. So go ahead and hit the like button. That's the best thing you can do to support this channel. And until next time, this is Sports Betting Truth, signing off with a double barrel snap.